Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling something pretty fundamental to living a good life. Fun.
Yeah, fun. It sounds simple, but there's actually a lot to unpack there.
Totally. Our exploration starts with this really interesting conversation we found on the EDP English Dialogue podcast YouTube channel. Mike and Emma shared their thoughts on, what actually brings us joy and makes life feel, well, vibrant.
Exactly. And our mission here for this deep dive is to get beyond just saying fun is good.
Mm-hmm.
Want to really understand, like, what is it?
Mm-hmm.
What are the different ways people find it? And maybe most importantly, give you some practical ideas, some strategies for weaving more of it into your everyday life.
Like a guide to actually doing fun, not just thinking about it.
Pretty much a guide to unlocking more enjoyment day to day.
Right, because Mike and Emma's chat really highlighted how passive we can be about it sometimes. We sort of wait for fun to happen to us.
Instead of actively creating it.
Yeah, so okay, let's start right there. The big question, what is fun? Like at its core.
Well, that's the fascinating part, isn't it? We all kind of know the feeling.
Yeah.
But what actually sparks that feeling that's so incredibly personal? It's subjective.
Okay, so like Mike and Emma were saying, what I find fun might be totally boring to you and vice versa.
Exactly. For one person, it might be the deep satisfaction of, say, learning a new skill like coding or maybe finishing a really complex painting.
Right, that sense of mastery. For me, sometimes it's just laughing really hard with friends, that connection piece.
hmm It taps into something really personal, maybe even essential, about what motivates us or makes us feel alive.
So why is it so different for everyone? Is it brain chemistry or?
Well, it probably connects back to our individual reward systems in the brain, our personalities, maybe even our past experiences.
Yeah.
What registers as pleasurable or engaging just varies a lot.
Okay, that makes sense. So Mike and Emma then started looking at some common sort of categories or pathways where people typically find fun.
They did. And they kicked off with something almost universal, socializing.
Yeah, getting together with people makes sense, like having dinner, game nights, even just, casual chats.
Right. And the question is, why is that fun? They pointed to that feeling of connection, of belonging. It's not just about passing the time. These interactions build real bonds, make us feel part of something. Em mentioned shared laughter.
Yeah.
Apparently, that actually releases chemicals in the brain, neurochemicals, that reinforce those social ties. So there's a biological component too.
Wow, okay. So it's not just feeling good, it's actually strengthening the relationships.
Exactly. Then they moved on to physical activities.
Oh, yeah, the one I always mean to do more of. Sports, dancing, hiking, even just going for a walk, they said.
And what's interesting there is the sort of double benefit they talked about.
Double benefit.
Yeah. First, there's the obvious thing. Moving your body releases endorphins.
Yeah.
Instant mood boost, right?
Right, the runner's high or whatever.
But there's also that sense of accomplishment. Finishing a tough workout, getting better at a sport, even just reaching the top of a hill on a hike.
I see. The physical and the mental payoff.
Precisely.
Mm.
And they also touched on the excitement of trying something new physically. That can be a big source of enjoyment itself.
That definitely adds a different kind of fun, pushing yourself a bit.
Yeah.
So after physical stuff, they went into creative pursuits.
Things like drawing, painting, writing, playing music.
Yeah.
And here, the fun seems to come more from self-expression, right? Tapping into your imagination.
Like getting something out that's inside you.
Kind of. Emma mentioned it can be really therapeutic, a good way to de-stress. There's this deep satisfaction in creating something, anything, that wasn't there before. A sketch, a story, even just messing around with chords on a guitar.
It feels different from other kinds of fun, more internal, less about the outside world.
Yeah, maybe more about intrinsic satisfaction rather than external results. Okay, then they shifted to leisure activities.
Which is probably what many people think of first, like watching movies, reading a book, playing video games.
Exactly. The relaxation stuff. Mike framed these as really valuable chances to just let our minds rest and recharge.
Unwind time.
Totally. You get absorbed in a story, explore a different world. It's a mental escape from, the everyday grind, giving yourself permission to just chill out.
Absolutely crucial. I think we underestimate how important that downtime is.
We definitely do.
Yeah.
And then they broadened the scope even further, talking about exploring new places and having new experiences.
Like travel, weekend getaways, big trips.
Yeah, but even just exploring a new neighborhood in your own city. The key element here, as Emma highlighted, is novelty.
Novelty.
Seeing new things, trying new foods, experiencing different cultures or landscapes, it shakes things up. These new experiences often stick in our minds, create really strong memories, and can even broaden our perspective on things.
That feeling of discovery.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's definitely a powerful source of fun. Psychologically, does that connect to anything?
It does, actually. It taps into our brain's natural inclination towards novelty seeking, which research suggests is linked to our overall sense of well-being and even learning.
Interesting. Okay, so we've got socializing, physical activity, creativity, leisure, exploring, lots of avenues. But like we said earlier, just knowing they exist isn't enough. How do we actually, get more fun into our lives? Mike and Emma had ideas on this, right?
They did, some really practical ones. And the first one might sound a bit counterintuitive.
Prioritization.
Prioritizing fun, like
Yeah.
scheduling it, seems a bit unfun.
I know, right? But think about it. If you don't consciously make time for it, when does it happen?
Rarely. Gets
Yeah.
squeezed out by work and chores.
Exactly. So their point was treat fun activities like important appointments. Put them in your calendar. This helps maintain a healthier work-life balance, which they stressed is just fundamental for overall well-being.
Okay, I can see that. Actively blocking out time signals that your enjoyment actually matters. It's not just an afterthought.
Precisely. Another big one was about intentionally trying new things, stepping outside the comfort zone.
Yeah. To avoid getting stuck in a rut, basically. Trying new things helps you discover potentially new sources of joy you didn't even know existed.
Like taking a class, picking up a random hobby, even just trying a different route home from work.
Could be anything, big or small. As Mike put it, variety really does enrich life. It keeps things interesting, prevents boredom, and you might stumble onto your next great passion.
I like that. Continuous exploration. What else? They mentioned being present, mindfulness.
Mm-hmm. This one's subtle but powerful. How much more do you enjoy something when you're really there for it?
Totally. If my mind's wandering, I miss half of it.
Exactly. Emma explained that when you're fully engaged, truly present, you notice the little details, the nuances. It just amplifies the enjoyment. Even simple things like savoring a cup of coffee or really listening to music.
So it's about putting the phone down, tuning out distractions, and just being in the moment.
You got it. Makes the experience richer, more fulfilling.
Yeah.
And then they talked about humor.
Ah, yes. Laughter, the best medicine and all that.
Well, Mike called it a transformative force, which I like.
Transformative. How so?
Think about how laughter can instantly change the mood of a situation, inject joy into something ordinary, create a really positive memory out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's true. A shared joke can completely shift the energy.
Right. Sharing jokes, watching comedy, even just being intentionally silly, it lifts your spirits. And Emma added that it's amazing for relationships, too.
How so?
It builds connection, fosters this lighthearted, positive atmosphere between people. Shared laughter is a powerful bonding agent.
Definitely agree with that one. Okay, but life isn't always easy. What about the things that stop us from having fun? Did they talk about barriers?
They did.
Yeah.
And acknowledging them is the first step, right? They pointed to three main culprits.
Yeah.
Stress, lack of time, and negative mindsets.
The big three. Okay, so stress. What can we do about that?
Their suggestions were pretty standard but effective. Things like meditation, regular exercise helps a lot. Even just simple deep breathing techniques to calm the nervous system.
Right, managing the stress so there's actually mental space for fun.
Exactly. And for the lack of time barrier.
Let me guess. Back to scheduling.
Bingo. Organizing your schedule, being realistic, but consciously prioritizing those enjoyable activities we talked about.
Yeah.
Making space for them, even if it's just small pockets of time.
Okay. And the last one, that negative mindset. That can be a real joy killer.
Oh, absolutely. If you're constantly focusing on the negative or feeling cynical, it's hard for fun to get a look in.
So what's the antidote?
Mike and Emma really emphasized actively shifting your focus. Practice gratitude, look for the positives, try to be more open to experiences, and consciously challenge or let go of those negative thought patterns.
Cultivating positivity to make yourself more receptive to enjoyment.
Yeah, it enhances your ability to find joy in everyday things and just generally approach life with a bit more enthusiasm.
Okay, wow. So pulling this all together, it sounds like fun isn't just like a bonus feature in life. It's actually pretty essential.
That's the key takeaway, I think.
Yeah.
It's vital for a balanced, fulfilling life. And there isn't just one way to find it. There's this huge spectrum. Socializing, moving your body, creating, relaxing, exploring. Loads of options.
And we have concrete steps we can take based on Mike and Emma's chat. Prioritize it, schedule it even.
Right. Try new things, step out of that comfort zone sometimes.
Practice being present. Really savor the moment.
Embrace humor. Find ways to laugh more.
And actively tackle those barriers,
Yeah.
manage the stress, make the time, work on that positive outlook.
It's a pretty clear roadmap, really.
It really is. This has been super insightful. It really makes you think about something we often just take for granted.
Mm-hmm.
So for you listening, here's a little prompt to take away from our depth dive today. What's just one small, enjoyable thing you can consciously choose to do today?
Doesn't have to be huge.
Not at all. Maybe it's putting on your favorite song and actually listening.
Mm.
Maybe it's a 5-minute chat with someone you care about. Maybe it's just stepping outside for some fresh air for 10 minutes, no phone.
Just one small thing.
Yeah. Think about how incorporating even that tiny dose of deliberate fun might ripple outwards, how it might contribute just a little bit to your overall sense of well-being today. Something to consider.
Definitely.
Until our next deep dive, keep looking for those moments, keep seeking out the joy.